It's time to go over our top 10 tight ends for week 6. We're going to get right into the video. At number 10, we're talking Pat Freiermuth. Now we're seeing the guy that I told y'all, before the season started, that Pat Freiermuth could be a big part of this offense, and we're starting to see that be the case. Now I know there could be a questions here as who's going to be the quarterback, but we're going to have to just wait and see. We'll talk about that in 1 second. But I know the Steelers going against this Raiders defense that ranks 14th against opposing tight ends, and I'm saying that could we see a quarterback change in Pittsburgh? As of the recording of this video, we see Justin Fields is taking the number ones right now, the reps. It's a full participant for Russell Wilson. He's taking snaps with the 2s, but I believe it's only a matter of time before Russell Wilson gets in there. And if something happens and Justin Fields is starting against the Raiders, and if he struggles or God forbid loses against the Raiders, he's done for. Absolutely done for. The leash is very short on Justin Fields. So what does that mean for Pat Freiermuth? I think either way it goes, whether it's Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, I think Pat Freiermuth is a good play. I think more the wide receivers will probably be maybe hurting in the long run. I guess it was more of Russell Wilson being there, but let's just face it, George Pickens is almost irrelevant with Justin Fields at quarterback. And people are saying that I think that Justin Fields can throw the football to the wide receivers better. Pickens is a better opportunity with Justin Fields. I don't think so. I think Russell Wilson just makes this offense click a lot better. So I'm hoping he gets in there sooner rather than later. But either way it goes, this is the tight end show. And I'm pretty sure that Pat Freiermuth, he's good no matter what happens. He's going against this team right here that he can put some numbers up against. He's a safety blanket for both quarterbacks. They both want to do well, and we even seen it from last week. It took a while for Pat Freiermuth to be into there, but then he ends up catching the touchdown, and it was all good to go from there. So he can get you some fantasy points. I think he's solid. Put him here at number 10. We all know the tight end position in general is a bunch of cock-a-doodle anyway. So, I mean, overall, it is what it is. I like myself from Pat Freiermuth. I put him here at number 10 for me. Move right along here at number 9. I'm going Tyler Conklin. This is a player that early on in the season, we were like, well, where the hell is Tyler Conklin? But now we're starting to see how it's going. I think Tyler Conklin is being targeted a little bit more. I think that now that they don't have this head coach, who's going to be the head coach? Is it going to be Nathaniel Hackett? We don't know, but Aaron Rodgers is starting to look a little bit more towards Tyler Conklin's way. He's putting up some good numbers for us. I'm liking what I'm seeing this week going against the Bills defense that ranks 15th against opposing tight ends. Starting to develop into a solid tight end option just because he's getting the opportunities. Not necessarily the numbers all the time, but he's getting the opportunities. He's on the field. His snap percentage is nice. He's being able to play a lot of football, which means it could produce some fantasy points for you, especially if you're down here in the bottom portion of my top 10 rankings. That means you're probably either streaming tight ends or you just are not happy total with your tight end production. That's why you're starting some of these guys. Tyler Conklin's a good option for you to go out there, maybe pick up on waivers. If he's on your waiver wire like I did a couple weeks ago, I think he's just a good tight end for you to just kind of put into your lineup. At least you know you're going to get a couple points. Don't expect anything big from it. That's kind of what Tyler Conklin gives you. So move right along here with our next guy coming here at number 8. We're going Dallas Goedert. A little bit lower on my rankings this week. They're coming off of a bye week, but they've got a whole plethora of options out there for this team. A.J. Brown is back. Devonta Smith is back. Lane Johnson, their left tackle, is back. We still got Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts has a lot of people to throw the football to, so Dallas Goedert's not going to be the main focal point like he was the last couple weeks, but it is what it is, right? So Dallas Goedert, a good serviceable tight end for a good offense. This week they're taking on a Browns defense that ranks 6th against opposing tight ends. Everyone's back. It could open up some opportunities for them, right? I don't think the targets may not be there, but there's going to be some good opportunities if the defense is really covering everybody else, for him to have a couple good shots to get you some decent fantasy points. Again, I don't expect a blow-up game from Dallas Goedert, but enough to get you some points to be fantasy liable, right? I mean, let's just face it, like I was saying earlier, right? The tight end position is not very good. So especially towards the bottom portion, like probably tight end like 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there, you're not looking at like studs, right? You got to call a spade at this point, but you're just looking for some serviceable opportunities, people who's going to get the targets and the volume to at least give you a decent floor, right? That's what we're looking at, and that's what Dallas Goedert can give you. Move right along here at number 7. We're going Dalton Kincaid. Now the matchup, not the best matchup, but Dalton Kincaid, volume alone, is going to be king for this guy. I think Dalton Kincaid right now going against the Jets defense that ranks 2nd against opposing tight ends may be a rough game, right? But the volume's going to keep him in my top 7. Like I was saying, with the firing of the head coach of the Jets, I think it's going to fire up this Jets team. I think they're coming here and they're actually going to get the win against the Buffalo Bills, which puts them in a negative game script, which makes me believe that they're going to be passing the football a lot, which means volume would be king. So while I don't think it's going to be a massive game, I think just the opportunities that Dalton Kincaid's going to get against a Jets team that is going to be fired up with a new head coach, I just think set your expectations, reel it back a little bit. Dalton Kincaid should be fine. He'll get you a nice 4 set of points. You will be good for week 6. So we're right along here at number 6. We're going Brock Bowers, right? I want to see this guy get even more involved. No more Devontae Adams. He might even be gone. He might be traded before this video even gets released out there. Who knows? But Brock Bowers, right, is going to be a main focal point into this offense. He was drafted very highly to do so. Who's going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be Gardner Minshew? Is it going to be O'Connell? We don't know at this point, right? There's a lot of question marks surrounding the Raiders. One question mark that is not there is Brock Bowers' availability and what he means to this offense. He's getting a lot of targets. This week, they're taking on a Steelers defense that ranks 19th against opposing tight ends. No Adams, again, could mean more volume, and it should mean more volume for him. He's probably the best pass-catching option on this team opposed of Jacoby Myers, right? So it is what it is at this point. I'm preaching to the choir at this point. You're not looking for fireworks at this point, right? We're 6, 7, 8, 9. We're not looking for the fireworks. But I think Brock Bowers gives you a good enough floor for week 6. Set him, put him in your lineup. You're not going to get much better results from a tight end this week. So coming here at number 5, we're going Sam Laporta, right? So another guy is kind of falling from the graces. Boy, this has been the crazy fantasy football season, man. But Sam Laporta, I think, can come back and be an option here. I think this could be a game that's going to really start to make you believe that he's great yet again. He's taking on a Cowboys defense ranks 13th against opposing tight ends. Like I just mentioned, he could have a game where we start to see him as a top tight end once again. I'm talking about top 1, top 2 type of tight end. I think we should. He's got the talent. He's just not getting the target share that he needs. Coming down with these football, I think this week against the Cowboys defense, they're going to need Sam Laporta to come and stand on his own business. And I think he can do that. I like myself some Sam Laporta. Get him into your lineups here at week 6. So let's talk about number 4. We're talking George Kittle, right? George Kittle is one of those boomer bust tight ends that we have to talk about. Played on Thursday Night Football against the Seahawks defense that ranks 20th against opposing tight ends. This is a game that I can see Kittle really stepping up big in, right? Last week was Brandon Ayuk. It's been a while since we saw Kittle go out there and just absolutely have a boom game. They're still going to be without Christian McCaffrey, so Jordan Mason's in the backfield. They got Deebo Samuel over there as well, but I think this is the game. Just a hunch. Just a hunch that I think George Kittle's going to have a big game against the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. Get the guy into your lineup. I think you'll be happy with the results that he gives you. Moving right along here. At number 3, we're going Trey McBride, right? And he's consistently being the guy that we all want him to be. I'm glad he came back from the concussion last week. He played okay, had a decent game. Like 11 plus fantasy football points. Completely fine. I think that Marvin Harrison Jr., the delay and the more that he's trying to teach and trying to learn the position and playing in the NFL, I think it's only going to be helping Trey McBride get even more targets from Kyler Murray. Murray has to have that rapport with Marvin Harrison Jr., almost like the rapport he has with Trey McBride. He just doesn't have that yet. So I think that he's going to continue to be targeting Trey McBride and going to be putting up some solid fantasy numbers for you. McBride's a top fantasy tight end. It is what it is. This week, going against the Packers defense ranks 25th against opposing tight ends. He should have even more volume this week, knowing that the Marvin Harrison Jr. show isn't really on the ticket just of yet, and you have a team that can't really stop the tight end position, and somebody with as talented as Trey McBride, he should have a bunch of targets this week. I'm excited to see what Trey McBride can give you as far as fantasy points for your roster. Move right along here. At number 2, I'm going Tucker Kraft. Guys, it was just a couple weeks ago. I put up a waiver wire video of saying, hey, look, before Jordan Love comes back, go pick up yourself some Tucker Kraft, because it's going to be fireworks. I literally said that on my video. Now look at him, number 2 in my rankings because he's good, exploding. Another 2 touchdowns last week. Jordan Love's fallen in love with this guy. He has completely said, yo, I'm taking a big old steamy pile of dump on you, Musgrave. Get up in the backfield. I'm the number 1 tight end for this offense. Christian Watson, he's injured. Dubes is coming back from his suspension. Look, Tucker Kraft is the guy, right? This week going against a Cardinals defense that ranks 17th against opposing tight ends. Went from waiver wire to a legit top tight end in this league. Guys, I love myself some Tucker Kraft, especially being a part of an offense that's really good, who could put up a lot of points. And having a tight end, which is the safety blanket for the quarterback position, This is awesome. He can catch the football like a wide receiver. I love the way he runs his routes. I love the way that he can just end up in the end zone naturally. Get yourself some Tucker Kraft. Easily my number 2 option at the tight end position this week, which brings me to number 1. I'm going with Jake Ferguson. This is a tight end that Dak Prescott's really starting to really get more involved into. Even though he is consistent, not necessarily as consistent as far as CeeDee Lamb or Tolbert or Cooks. You know, Ferguson is consistent. He's given himself the tight end, and man, he can catch. He's making some spectacular catches I didn't think he had in him. He's looking really, really good this week, taking on a Lions defense that ranks 9th against opposing tight ends. It continues, right? His consistency and his volume. He's getting the workload that we all want from our tight end position, and I would have never thought at the beginning of the season I would be telling you guys that Jake Ferguson is my number 1 tight end on any given week, but I am saying it. It is what it is. I call a spade, and I give you guys the best content I possibly can. I think Jake Ferguson is the number 1 bona fide tight end this week in week 6. Guys, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit a subscribe button. We're pumping out videos each and every week to help you set the best lineup possible. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think of Jake Ferguson as my number 1 tight end? If you disagree, let me know who your number 1 tight end for this week is. I'm curious to see it down in the comments below. Guys, we want to help you set the best lineups possible so you can win a championship and hold up that trophy at the end of the season. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.